Welcome to the show, Naomi Grossman, Mad Max Radio, Live 365, iHeartRadio, the one and only. Naomi Grossman's here. Him, American Horror Story Asylum, American Horror Story Freak Show, 1BR. We're going to get into a lot of the film work here tonight, but welcome to the show. How's everything going?
Great. You've done your research.
Yes, absolutely. And we're going to get into all your work, especially with the new film. We can start off with the new film with him. So, how was it playing Marjorie? Because you got this locally with the Jordan Peele casting with New Mexico. So, how was it playing this role?
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite lucky. I mean, what is luck when preparedness meets opportunity? I was doing my one-woman show in a tiny little town of Taos, New Mexico, and local casting was obviously, looking for people for this film and came and saw and put me in. So yeah, I mean, you know, I think I didn't have to audition, which is my dream. Like
Mhm.
that's literally, I don't need a house in the hills. I don't need like that's all I want in life. It's to just not audition anymore. So that was amazing. That said, I mean, I had done like basically an hour and a half of my life. You know what I mean? I'd like just poured out my soul on a stage so that was my audition. I mean, there was nothing about it that was particularly Marjorie, but it's very obvious that like I can handle this. Like if I can handle an hour and a half on a stage, I can handle 3 minutes on a screen.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure my body of work probably spoke for itself. Like, I'm obviously like an extreme character. I'm pretty fearless. I'm very physical. I'm not afraid to look ugly. Like I'll go there, and that's evidently what they needed for this role.
Yeah, no, they did, and you're obsessed with Isaiah in this film. And how was it with working with Marlon Wayans, a comedy genius? How was it being on set with him?
Yeah, it's very easy to be obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Very little acting required. Um, no, I mean he's phenomenal. He's gorgeous, and that kiss was totally improvised. Took me totally by surprise. Quite enjoyed it. My one regret is not turning the cameras around and getting, my reaction shot. Um, but yeah, I mean he's a master improviser as which is a lot of the magic that you saw on screen was not in the actual script. It
Wow.
was like like that spit that was
Hmm.
improv. Like I said, the kiss was improv. All the dialogue in the sauna. Um, it was good casting, if I may say so. Obviously, I'm biased, but Marlon as well. Like I think I mean, he's my favorite are comedians that can go there.
Hmm.
Like when you see somebody like, um, oh, what's his name? Spotless Mind.
Kevin
Um,
Hart, I know he's the big one.
well, he's a small one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, well, yeah.
get it. No, I was gonna say, God, sorry, I'm just having a total, um, the Jim Carrey.
Jim
Duh.
Carrey, okay.
People are watching this like screaming at the screen, going, Jim Carrey. But yeah, Jim Carrey's like one of those people who, when he's serious, it is magical.
Hmm.
And I think Marlon's that way as well. Like he's so funny, and then all of a sudden he'll surprise you.
Yeah. So
He's
was there
got some,
any?
there's pathos there.
There is. Was there? What was the research that you kind of did behind this role? Because we're gonna get into the research that you did behind Pepper, which was really interesting. But you really go into your character. So what was some of the research you did behind Marjorie?
Um, you know, I modeled her after the insurrectionists
Okay.
on January 6th. Because let's face it, there's all level of fans, right?
Hmm.
Fandom comes in all shapes and sizes, all types. There's the Swifties, there was Beatlemania, there was Peppermania, and there's MAGA.
Hmm.
And in fact, before Marjorie had a name, she was just called Cult Lady.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, in my mind, like I remember distinctly watching the news during that time and like seeing those faces. They were just, like just gnarly. Like the passion and fervor that like what it would take for you to like, get in a van and drive to the Capitol and break into it and destroy public property and kill police officers. Like I'm not trying to get political here, but I'm just
I
saying like
agree.
that is a level and that is in my mind akin with what we're of Marjorie level of crazy. You know what I mean? Like the guy that came in and walloped Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Hmm.
That's a Marjorie. You know what I mean? We can't say that this doesn't happen because it happened.
It
You
does.
know? So that's what I was kind of using as my muse. I do like to draw from my own life,
Hmm.
and we all have our obsessions. So I have an Isaiah White. I also have a Cameron Cade. Like I had someone in mind when I came down with that rock, believe me. And they're just lucky that I'm a very stable person and will never actually come at them with a rock, but would rather, exercise those demons on a set with a prop.
Hmm. I'm glad that you're putting what's happening in society into your heart because I think it's really. I'm just disappointed in a lot of artists in Hollywood, especially within the music genre, and everyone's just kind of turning a blind eye to things. I know you went to Northwestern, especially everything that's happening in Chicago right now. That no one's speaking up, no one's using their voices, and it really is. It's cowardly because I had some people on recently, and they were just like, yeah, next question, don't want to talk about it. And it's like you're not helping your own community out and you're a coward for it. It's a shame.
Right. Yeah, no. And I mean, honestly, I mean, most of Jordan Peele's stuff is
Oh
a
yeah, with Get
little
Out and
edgy,
stuff. Yeah, it
political.
always touches
Yeah.
on it.
But I mean, I feel like this movie is very much so. Like
Hmm.
if all you think is it's about is like sports and blood, like you missed it. Like it's a commentary on our current society,
Hmm.
this this system in which we idolize. There's the billionaire at the top, not even Isaiah, not even the goat is also the victim, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? He's also working for the man. It's the league that is calling the shots because they have the money. And so it's really, it says a lot about this very just money grubby, bloodthirsty, celeb obsessed, like kind of sick culture that we're in right now, that we're literally all victims.
Hmm.
Like from the fans, like Marjorie is an actual victim, but I mean, like I said, I feel like Marjorie like represents all fans, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And then there's the Julia Foxes, there's the trophy wives who's got to get paid, gotta maintain theirs. There's the doctor, Jim Jeffries character. He's a victim. He really just wanted to help people. Well, we all know how that ended. Um,
Oh yeah.
like I said, they're all just in service of this one old white
Owner.
billionaire.
Hmm.
And it's messed up, but that's what we've set up for ourselves right now in sports, in politics, you name it.
Hmm. It's really a commentary on the NFL. The NFL, because I'm big into sports, but as the years keep going by, I've become more turned off to football, just with the owners. And learn about the CTE, Colin Kaepernick being thrown out of the league, and now with the whole, it's too political now as far as with the conservativeness of it. And I know you've probably heard about the Bad Bunny the Super Bowl halftime show. It's just I can go on and on about the halftime shows that we've had to sit through for years. I mean, I don't listen to Bad Bunny's music, but it's like, give me a break. If it's National Football League, you could give spotlights to other cultures without complaining. We've had to sit through a lot of concerts with that I didn't like.
Yeah. Oh, that's absurd. And especially when it's like, look at yourselves. Like, what is America at this point?
Hmm.
What population is Latino? Like, we should. we should reflect that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Not everybody is white-blooded American. You know what I mean? I know that's where, American football came from, but we're growing, we're changing, we're dynamic, constantly evolving, and our society is not that anymore.
No,
So I think our halftime shows should reflect that.
it should. Yeah, it definitely is changing in so many ways. And because you're from Denver originally, so are you a Broncos fan?
I'm not really a football. I
Not
know
football.
I should be like,
Yeah, I'm more basketball now.
yeah. I love soccer is really
Soccer is your sport.
if I choose a sport. Uh, I'm less of a team sport, more individual. But yes, I love Argentina's my team. So the World
Okay,
Cup was
yeah.
very exciting a couple of years ago. And yeah, obviously when I lived in Denver, we follow the Broncos. But I'm one of those like. I just love to party. I love to wear costumes. I love to, drink beer and gather. And so, yeah, if there's a Bronco game, I'll be there. I won't understand. I will invariably cheer when we get, run the wrong way. Like I won't get it, but I'll at least have spirit.
Exactly. The acting is your sport, and we're gonna get into especially the beginnings of it. Before we close out with him, how is it working with Guap Dad 4000? Because he's been on my show, big hip hop guy, with what I cover on my show. How is it working with him?
It's funny you said that. When you said that, I went, because I thought you were talking about Tyreek Withers, because he is guapo as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. And I probably like objectively all women and gay men and even straight men. We all have to agree he is very, very guapo. I didn't work with him.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't
So
work
you didn't
with
see him
any of the
around on
musical
set.
artists.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it was I came in I want to say I was in the first couple days and then I was in the last couple days.
Okay.
So I kind of bookended the thing, but I know there was a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah. This film had great casting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in theaters. It's still in theaters too. You go check it out. Everyone that's listening, make sure you go see him before it leaves the theater.
I think it's worth it. I've seen it 3 times in theaters now, and honestly, I get something out of it each time. It's so visually arresting. There's so much like it's wild how I'm like, do I have that bad a memory that I don't even remember that? But it's like there's just so much. It almost reminds me of those like Nike commercials back in the like 90s where there was just like you were just like inundated with images. It's really stunning visually. And so in my mind, it is worth going to the theater for.
It definitely is. Yeah, go see it, everyone who's listening. Support the theater still. I know people like digital sitting on their couch and pulling it up on their screens. Go actually experience this in theaters. You're missing out.
Yeah. You'll see my DNA 10 feet tall.
Exactly. Coldest day in Denver you were born? What was the degrees? Do you
I want to say it was like 10 below,
Jeez.
which, depending on where you are, if you're like in Buffalo or Minneapolis, maybe that's nothing, but that's a cold day in Colorado.
Cold day.
Colorado's known for like if you don't like the weather, like wait a half hour, like it'll be, you know, snowing and sun like the sun shining all in the same day, all in the same at the same moment.
Mhm. Yeah, 1 mile high. Everyone knows
There you
that.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was early on, your family really introduced you to the arts and theater like that. But I learned that TV was banned. Why was TV banned? Because you would sneak with Family Ties and
Yeah.
Clueless and Facts
Wow,
of
really?
Lives.
Um, I know it makes it sound like they were like super religious or something. It wasn't that way at all. It's just my parents were very kind of highbrow and it was considered the boob tube. It was like it was less than.
Mm.
I don't know why I've suddenly become British, but yeah, it was like we watched very specific shows. Like if we watched television, it was like Cosmos with Sagan or Sunday Morning with Charles Kuralt. So, anything that was like newsworthy or cultural or science, like learning channels, that was allowed. But, just sitcoms, like the stuff I wanted to watch was not allowed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially those ones, because that was a big time for sitcoms.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. But it's funny. Like ultimately, they created that's what I decided I wanted to be when I grew up. Like it was like the one thing that was prohibited, and that's the one thing I wanted.
And you follow right in the path, even to getting on to American Horror Story. But we're gonna get into the early life before that because you fell in love with the theater and plays and things like that locally. So how did you really overcome the fear from because your first performance, especially walking into acting class, you vomited. So how did you build up to get over this fear?
I want to know where you did all your research. Yeah, I did. I don't know that that was so much nerves as probably overeating and then overexerting quickly thereafter. Um, yeah, no, I mean, listen, I have always I just feel more alive on stage. Like I don't know what it is, but knowing that there are eyeballs on me gives me it gives me purpose. Like
Hmm.
I almost feel like on a date, like one on one, I'm very awkward. But knowing that this is being recorded for others and
Hmm.
that there's like an audience out there, it like there's a reason for it. Like, what's the point if it's not for
Exactly.
people to watch? And I know that, that's a kind of classic performer ideal on the Enneagram, for example. Like if, we all kind of see the world in a certain way, and I see it as a performer. Like I consider my role here to, entertain. And yeah, if no one's watching, what's the point?
Hmm. True. And you would learn about that, especially when really hitting the screen and getting your transition to theater to film. But there's so much more behind this because you're working your way into theaters. You go to Northwestern Chicago for 4 years. You make the move to Hollywood. So at what point, because you were 15 once you got the SAG card. So what happened with this that you weren't getting any jobs because with the union? Because once you get the SAG card, you think that's when you hit the gold that you're ready.
Yeah, but again, I was in Denver where there's like
Hmm.
no work, I mean, it's not Hollywood. And
Yeah.
for that matter, there's no work in Hollywood now. But at that time, there was just like a select, I want to say there was like Father Dowling Mysteries and like Perry Mason, the old one. And like regional commercials. But after you've done those like couple things, you're kind of done. Like there
Hmm.
wasn't really anything more to do. So yeah, I had to go on. And obviously I was going to. Like I left and came here. And yeah, so I was once I moved to Hollywood, I was obviously a step ahead because I was, already had the SAG card, which, so many actors were like, struggling to get. But
Hmm.
um yeah, I mean, even then, I struggled for a really long time. And I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like those small roles that they give, people just up and coming, like developmental actors, are not the kind of roles that I get. Like, sorry, I'm not being very articulate. Basically, there's those like little co-star parts, right? Like,
Hmm.
um, scalpel doctor or want fries with that? And I never got those parts
Hmm.
because you really need like kind of a wallflower person to do those. Like just somebody there to like disappear, like come in, establish that it's a restaurant or a hospital and then leave. Like you're just there to support the star. And I mean, obviously, I'm here to support the star. Like, I've never been, the star. Like, I'm always been a supporting character. But at the same time, like, I do take up space. Like, we've seen it. Like,
Hmm.
whether it's Marjorie or Pepper, like there are no small roles. I you know, I mean, shoot, Pepper was like monosyllabic. I had like, I mean, the amount of like actual words I said on that show over the course of however many seasons, like it's crazy. Like I wasn't a she's not exactly a wordsmith. And so, but I still like I have a presence. And so, yeah, it really I wasn't getting those little ding dong, throwaway co-star roles. Like it really took like a special part like Pepper to
Hmm.
kind of, put me on the map. And then and then obviously like Marjorie and others have followed from there. But I do think Pepper in many ways was like this kind of perfect storm of a role because, they needed somebody unknown enough that they could cover her face in prosthetics. Because, if you're going to cast like Lady Gaga or Kathy Bates or whatever, you're not going to like cover their face up. You're paying for that face.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So you need kind of a throwaway face. And, but also you need, somebody with chops, like somebody who's totally unknown yet has chops, right? Somebody with improv and ideally even, theater background, which I had, because so much of that was improv, so I was kind of acting to the back row, believe it or not. I mean, I had to, like I was covered in these, plastic pieces. And if it weren't for me kind of like overacting, like penetrating the makeup, you wouldn't have seen my face move. So, like I said, there were a lot of like factors that it was all just worked out. And
Hmm.
honestly, like again, credit to the casting because that required a lot of foresight. I
Hmm.
mean, like I said, it benefited me. So yeah, easy for me to say that the casting was so great, but it really was for them to like think ahead and go, oh, let's find some totally unknown improviser girl.
Hmm. It was more with the agent at the time that you had too, because he picked you based off of your height. Is that right? He just.
Well, listen, I don't want to badmouth any agents.
Oh.
So I do in my one woman show. Um, there's all types of agents out there, and there's the bottom feeder types that get the email, that get the breakdown, they call it, from casting, in which they basically like say exactly what they're looking for. And they basically just like click through their client profiles and oh, they need someone, 4 to 5 feet tall. Who do I got? Who do I got? And they just go through their roster. And yeah, I was technically petite enough for them to submit. So yeah, I'm under the impression that it's not like my agent had this like vision and great foresight and said, "Oh my God, this is gonna be it. This is so Naomi." No, he was like, "Oh, Naomi short," and I got the audition, which is crazy.
Hmm.
But also we don't know when a role's really gonna hit. You know what I mean? Like when you look in that day room of the asylum, you've got the guy with Tourette's over there, there's the necrophiliac over there, there's the nymph over there, there's all these like wackadoos and Pepper.
Hmm.
And, for whatever reason, Pepper kind of took off. But that I mean, I'd like to think I had a little something to do with it, but it's really the audience. Like, believe me, there's so many roles that I would have liked to have taken off and haven't, or didn't.
Hmm.
So it's really the audience decides these things.
It does, and this like a hit show. But you didn't watch the first season early on. So when did you realize that you struck gold
Um, I think while I was
when you were
doing
doing it?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, after I was cast, I went ahead and like binged it in bed, and it was definitely one of those things where I was like, oh my goodness, like that's Jessica Lange. Like, okay, maybe this is worth shaving my head for, Um, but no, I mean, it wasn't until it was like happening to me while I was like, oh, there's TMZ jumping out of the bushes at me, and oh, there's a Pepper for President poster like on a telephone
I'd
pole or
vote for that over what we have now. I'd vote for Pepper.
right?
Yeah.
Solid choice in retrospect, let me tell you. Ugh.
Yeah, I would. So we get those posters back. You never
Ah,
know.
right.
It's unbelievable, just everything that's happening. And with this show, because it was so huge, you did the research behind the roles. So what did you want to take away from, because watching the movie Freaks in the back in the day, especially for the old 1932 film. So what was it that you wanted to take away from the original character's performance, the real life Pepper, to put into yours? What was something that you really wanted to add to your role for this and paying homage?
I mean, I knew that the my job was to do Schlitzie. So
Schlitzie.
as long as I was honoring that little microcephalic guy from the 1933 film Freaks,
Mm-hmm.
I was doing my job. So that's it. Like it was so simple. It was beautiful in a way, really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew as long as I was doing Schlitzie that that's what they wanted. So I never had to doubt myself.
Mm-hmm. Did you go to any, because I know that's actually a thing. Did you actually go to any, I don't want to call them that, but I know they're called freak shows. Did you actually go to
Oh,
any real ones to
I
see
thought you
how
were
it
going to say
was?
acting coaches. I did go to an acting
Mm-hmm.
coach. Um, I want to say while we were in Louisiana shooting Freak Show, we were invited to some freak shows. And yeah, we went. And then when I say freak shows, they were really more like
Carnival
oddity,
type events.
people drilling stuff in their noses and that kind of thing. Which I don't know why they think we're into that. Like I'm not, but I appreciate the spectacle.
Hmm. And the audition with the ball, and I could really see that. We're learning about that is just how playful that Pepper was. So I could see that, or because when you were in the audition, you're probably like, "What is this?" But you were able to improv, and it worked.
Well, yeah, especially because again, in film and television, you're mostly playing your age,
Hmm.
I mean, I say that and yet every now and then I'll get an audition for like a 110-year-old, hunchback from the 1800s and you know, again, that's because I am an extreme character actress and I get stuff like that. But other than that, for the most part, you tend to play your, age range. And so, yeah, for them to want me to play a 4-year-old, like if they want a 4-year-old, they'll cast a 4-year-old. Like I knew it wasn't that, but they obviously wanted to see that I could transform into this, innocent, young, naive, playful, all those characteristics that we associate with a 4-year-old we also associate with a microcephalic, right?
Hmm.
Like pepper. So,
That's true. With the prosthetics, it was definitely difficult, and I really give you credit, especially with the not being able to blow your nose. There's a lot of things that you had to go through for this role to why it's really become so iconic. You have all these art pieces. Do you have a favorite one in there, or who's the most notable artist that sent you? Well, you have so many.
I mean, size matters, let's face it.
Hmm.
So I think this one, I love this one. I mean, it's taller than me. Um, uh, I mean, you're only seeing a couple
Oh,
walls.
you got even
It's
more.
all around. Yeah, it's everywhere. Um, it's yeah, I mean, it's like this special place where I go and it kind of reminds me of like a parent's fridge that's like covered in, their kids' chicken scratch. And it's like my art inspired this art, and like I don't know, it's like I'm very proud of it.
Hmm.
I take ownership over it, even though I have nothing to do with it. I mean, I have something.
You do,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean it's a beautiful thing that these are my babies,
Hmm.
this I birthed this
You did.
indirectly and it's really lovely.
Hmm. I love that one in the corner, the one that you like. Yeah, that one. It looks straight out of a carnival, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. This is actually also where I do all of my auditions. Here, I can show you.
Oh, wow.
Like I literally will just, take this down, and then it's a blank wall, and I can, audition in front of it.
It could bring you luck, good luck too, because that
Oh
is
yeah.
a
Well,
big
and not
role.
only that, but I have all these, sight lines all around me. Like I've got pepper here, all these other, peppers to act with. And not to mention the love, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, um, yeah, it's nice to feel like supported,
Hmm.
you know. Nothing like those really cold like audition rooms with like casting director who's like glaring at you. Like I don't have that anymore. It's just I've got my self tape and like just nothing but like peppers like loving on me.
Is it all self-tape now since the pandemic? There's no more in person. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Which
insane.
I mean I don't know. I think it's good and bad at the end of the
Hmm.
day. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was nothing good about the pandemic.
Hmm.
For extreme extroverts like me, I had a really hard time. But um, I don't miss having bad auditions. Like the fact that I can actually like if I don't like the take, I do it again. Like no big deal. Um, I mean, that said, I do feel like sometimes I, slave over an audition and then all of a sudden, like, you send it off and they don't have to look at it like they do when you're in their office. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like they could technically see your thumbnail and go swipe, you know what I mean? Like,
It's different. It's kind
and
of
we're
like
so
the
used
Asian
to just
thing.
swiping on people. Whereas, when you're looking at them in the eye when they've driven across town, climbed uphill both ways to see you and to like, perform, you give them a little different. It's just different.
Hmm.
So I miss that part, but I don't miss driving home like flagellating myself because I suck.
Hmm. And I know there were some things with the audition for Pepper. I know you were badgering yourself on the way home about.
Always. Yeah, well, because it's like that's the one like. Well, I didn't say book because I didn't think I had. I thought, that's the one I nail,
Hmm.
like the role I can't possibly get. I mean, I didn't. You know, it just
Hmm.
goes to show you it's not our job to cast, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, casting
It,
directors will cast. I just act. Period.
it's a huge show, and it really is one of the best shows in recent years. And there's still the rumors about it coming back for 13, being renewed for 13. So has there been any talks potentially to bring you back for anything, cameos, anything?
I mean, you wouldn't believe, but actors are like the last people to find out about these things.
Wow.
Um, I do know that like they agreed, like FX and Ryan Murphy and whoever have an agreement for 13
Hmm.
seasons. So I do believe we will see 13, but I have no idea what that looks like. Also, can you do a horror show and not do 13? Like,
You kind of need it.
I think you have to, right?
Yeah, you
Like
need it.
mandatory.
It is. It definitely is. I think something that's amazing about you, especially with the trouble after the sad card, you put everything together by yourself and doing your own shows, your one woman shows there, and the Carol Burnett inspiration type of show that you had early on, the
Yeah.
carnival.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that was just born out of my own sort of desperation because I wasn't being cast in a regular way.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, I created these little like, one person shows which were I mean, they really were formative. Like they kept me in the game, because until then all I was doing was just like submitting my headshots and driving around town like pick me, pick me, pick me. I mean, it's so desperate and disgusting. It's a horrible way to live. And
Hmm.
so at least once I cast myself, I was like acting at least, and it really kind of reignited my like passion and like love for the stage and
Hmm.
for what I was wanted to be when I grew up. So I'm so thankful to have had that because Ugh, without it, it's pretty soul-sucking.
I think was it easier for you to adjust to the whole digital age to where you have to push yourself as your own creator, especially with social media, just starting earlier with starting your own shows on your own?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, uh, I'm pretty technophobic. Like
Ooh.
we're zooming here now because,
Hmm.
we survived a pandemic and I can figure out how to, click a link. But like tech is not like if I knew back in drama school that I was going to spend so much time, you know, editing and color correcting and converting and compressing and put the color in the filter, I would have run the other way. I would have been anything but an actor.
Hmm.
But that's part of what it is. That's part of the job now.
Hmm.
Um, and so I do pretty well considering that like deep down I belong on a covered wagon, like somewhere like with the Jodes, So given like deep down, I do pretty good.
Hmm.
But yeah, so give me a follow. Give me a
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
they gotta
easy.
follow you on Instagram and
Uh,
X as well. Are you on Blue Sky too?
I'm not. I mean, there's
Mhm.
no re I mean, I should be. I'm blue. Um,
Yeah.
but there's just so many of those things that I can get on, you know what I mean? Like,
There's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. No, for sure. We can't forget about the Horror Nights, this experience. I don't know if I want to reveal too many details, but I heard that there was it was an amazing, it was a interesting story that I heard about American Horror Story making Halloween Horror Nights. So how was it
Hmm.
as an outer body experience seeing Pepper, your character, or someone else playing that within that show, that maze?
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to spoil that either because it's actually in my new solo show.
It's
It's
in
a
your new show.
show, American Horror Story.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, listen, ideally, the whole world will hear that story because, that show, we'll shoot it as a comedy special, we'll sell it to a Hilarious or whomever, and yeah, you can Netflix and chill and hear that story. So that's the only reason why I'm, not like outing it here now, but yeah, it's a true story.
It is. When could we expect this show that you're working on to really hit? Because it's third show you've been working on for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's had quite a life already. I mean, shoot, it got me on him for goodness sakes.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're gonna be shooting it actually in the spring as a comedy special. And yeah, from there and we're shooting it in Palm Springs, which I want to say you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. Yes, New
Yeah, and
York.
I mean Palm Springs isn't even easy for me. It's out there, but it's kind of a nice like getaway from LA anyway. So yeah, we'll shoot that April 8th and 9th. If people are in the desert, headed to Coachella, go a little early and come see me. And yeah, and then we'll, obviously edit it and get it up there,
It-
streaming for the world to see.
the- and they'll see it. Is it still a goal for you to get on Saturday Night Live? I know when you were working with comedy back in the day, you unfortunately got voted off. Did you ever find out the reason for that? Because
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's the Groundlings for you. I mean,
Mhm.
they're that would be the greatest reality show if they would ever let it happen. You know what I mean? Like it's basically like Survivor, the comedy theater.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like there's this little island and only a handful of people are going to survive. And even people like Adam Carolla and Conan O'Brien and like the funniest people out there
Mhm.
didn't survive. And I know this because I've met them and we've bonded over it. I'll never forget meeting Adam Carolla. I was on his show and I was like, this is single-handedly the funniest guy I literally can't even get a word in edgewise. And I mean, I didn't dare because everything he said was so funny. But and yet he was cut. He didn't make it past intermediate. He was a mess. But anyway, so yeah, that the Groundlings is I think the Groundlings is a place where like everybody and their mother who was ever told they were funny ever in their high school or even elementary for that matter, comes to Los Angeles to like pursue a comedy career. And, eventually they start falling away. And I want to say like a pyramid scheme, but it definitely like the cream rises to the top. And I got to the top. And once you're at the top, like, everybody's hilarious. So it's not
Hmm.
even a matter of like I wasn't funny enough or whatever. At that point, it's like sorority rush. It's
Hmm.
like who do you want to go to the date party with? Who do you want to, drink beers with? So, they didn't want to drink beer with me, and that's okay. Um,
Oh.
Ultimately, I feel like they did me a huge service. I'm not even kidding. Like, I, I wouldn't be here now. You know what I mean? Like I had to create my own way and it's gotten me here. Whereas so many of the people that I, did Groundlings with, there's nothing against them, but a lot of them are still there performing on Melrose. And don't get me wrong, that's what I wanted too. But
Hmm.
now that I'm separated from it, I feel like, wow, I struck gold. Like I was saved.
Yeah, you created your own career, and now you're creating your own comedy special. Is it still a goal in your mind to touch the stage at Saturday Night Live? Is that still, because that was huge aspirations when you were a kid? So is that still something in the back of your mind?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that'll never go away. That's just, I don't know. Saturday Night Live came out the year I was born.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I'll never forget like trying to stay up late, and I couldn't. I still can't. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's I mean, like I said, I get it. Like that ship has sailed in many ways. Like it's really like it's a job for 20-year-olds.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that said, Mikey Day was at the Groundlings with me.
Hmm.
So go figure, and you wouldn't know his age, you know.
No.
No. That's that's Myers was he was at Northwestern with me.
Wow.
Yeah. Michaela Watkins was on SNL. She was also
Okay.
on Groundlings with me. So yeah, I'm adjacent.
Yeah, you're right around
Six
there.
degrees of yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 degrees of all the comedians out
Yeah,
there.
I'm
Yeah.
1 degree away. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. What was your favorite SNL skit growing up?
Oh. Uh I don't know that I had one favorite. Oh, I loved I mean, I loved even the bad ones. Like I even appreciated like the years that were like terrible,
Hmm.
the what was the like Nora Dunn and Victoria, what's her name? Again, people are screaming at their screens now. Um, but there was like phases, like there was obviously like the beginning, Gilda Radner and
Hmm.
you know, all those guys where it's like, I mean, how do doesn't get any better. But then it did get better. Then there was
Hmm.
like Eddie Murphy, and then there were all
Oh,
these,
Gumby.
yeah, oh my God, yes. So there are, yeah. I you're this is Sophie's choice what you're asking me right now, and I will not fall for it.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly choose my favorite.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I think Eddie Murphy's Gumby. When I look back, that's hilarious.
Yeah, or his uns, ties, three times a mayday. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when you watch it, because I wasn't
Buckwheat.
alive to see it. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't alive to
Yeah.
see it, but I always go back on YouTube to watch the old performances, and that's yeah.
You know what I heard is that that was his first audition.
Wow, I didn't know
He
that.
got his first audition and then literally never looked back. Like that's it. He became like a ginormous star from that one thing. I mean, like when does that happen?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Well, I think you're going to be on the way here, especially with the audition, especially with him. I think that's a sign with just not
Oh,
getting
thank
just
you.
getting right in.
It does make me feel like I'm potentially delusional because let's face it, like to see statistics like that, like how many billion people are in the world, and there's one guy, Eddie Murphy, who managed this thing, and yet I'm like, I'm gonna beat those odds. It's like it's crazy,
It is.
crazy to enter this game. It's insane to want to, uh, be in entertainment, but
Mhm.
I mean, crazy people are. We wouldn't have Marjorie if we didn't have crazy people, right?
Oh no, and we can't forget about Janice and 1BR because that's another cult movie. I love this movie. This movie's underrated to me, and it got a lot of great reviews, especially with Netflix, and it's still carrying on a life of its own. But that's a scary movie when you think about it. It really
Yeah,
is
yeah,
because cults are such a real thing.
right.
We're living in one.
I know. Well, that's what's so crazy. Like when I read, Cult Lady on the hymn script before it became Marjorie, I was like, what is it with cults? Like they're following me between because 1BR was a cult,
Hmm.
it's like and MAG is a cult, like they're everywhere.
Hmm. It's insane. Taylor Nichols, he was on that set. He's
So great.
Yeah, he played Jerry.
Yep.
Did you ever really, because Colts really, you hear about these stories in Hollywood, especially with, I think, the actors from Smallville. So have you seen anything personally, like people trying to recruit for Colts or just hearing stories about people you've worked with about Colts and things like that?
I mean, during the pandemic, I did a lot of podcasts,
Hmm.
mostly promoting 1BR actually, because it just come out and we were holed up in our houses and had nothing else to do but, talk on Zoom. And but I would invariably have to, beg off to go do my yoga, and I would sneak off to this like yoga speakeasy, which was kind of a cult unto itself, but I digress. Um, on my ride, because I'd ride my bike there just to get like a little extra cardio in. I actually would ride by the Church of Scientology, which is super formidable. Like it's a monster. Like it literally looks like almost like Bron Castle in Romania. Like it's like this like towering, menacing, like just building, or group of buildings really. And so yeah, I remember like like quick like speeding past, like at any moment I was afraid they were going to body snatch me. It never happened, like nothing's ever happened. I have known people to go the way of Scientology and then come back around. But I've never been at all
Hmm.
tempted,
No,
curious.
I'm not easily swindled. And when you look at social media, the things people read, they're easily brainwashed, just believing a lot of conspiracy theories, especially with the whole politics. It's scary to see what people are believed in now, what they believe in and look at. It's crazy.
I went to one of these like, gifting suites for the
Hmm.
Emmys, and they offer whatever, like a massage, this, that. And in this case it was a massage, and but there's always a catch. Like they're trying to sell you something.
Hmm.
There's and sure enough, it was the Church of Scientology, and I was like here I am getting this massage. I should be like relaxing and enjoying, but instead I'm like pent up thinking, are they like kneading it into me? You know what I mean? Are they like giving me the goods? Anyway, I escaped.
That's a good thing. It's scary. These were a lot of religious groups too. I know they're big into that. You got to be careful with those evangelicals. I can go on and on. I'm not gonna go real deep into it, but yeah, it's crazy world.
Yes, it
Hmm.
is.
You mentioned the Emmys. We can't forget about the Emmy nomination. CTR Alt Delete. What was your favorite part about this performance? Because being nominated, and you also received. Who was the Emmy nominated actor that gave you some important advice too during this time?
Hmm. I'm trying to think of what advice that would be. I mean that was the most un I did not see that coming.
Hmm.
Mostly I was just wanted to support my friends. They'd created this uh show, and I thought, well, shoot, this is a way to get me a series regular role.
Hmm.
The show itself was an abortion comedy,
Hmm.
which doesn't sound hilarious, but the idea is it's like a workplace comedy. You know what I mean? The same way like Cheers takes place at a bar and ER takes place at a hospital, like this takes place at an abortion clinic.
Hmm.
And it just so happens that my character, Lorna, um uh pretty much used it as her birth control. So I was probably, I was kind of a regular. And which is ridiculous unto itself. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I did not I that came as a huge surprise and was obviously very welcome. But really great for my friends who were, trying to create this show. It never actually became anything more than it was, which is unfortunate. I had high hopes for it. But I also get it. Like
Hmm.
we can't if we can't elect a woman president, we probably can't handle this on television. So,
No, the and the pro-life party definitely. I think it's all hypocritical. I don't want to get real deep into it, but yeah, I mean, when you have ICE people out there attacking people, possibly killing people, and and then they don't do anything about gun laws, and you have all these kids getting killed, all these schools. You can stick it with the pro-life crap.
yeah, 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 right. Exactly.
It's so hypocritical. It's unbelievable.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
People are more concerned about like a zygote than they are like actual humans.
exactly.
Mhm.
It's unfortunate, but that's it's scary times that we're living in. We're living in an American horror story.
Yeah, we are.
It really is unbelievable. But I wanted to get into also Bite Me. This was another as Chrissy. That was another rom-com that you did.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was really fun. We shot that in New York City, um, which is a fun place to shoot. And yeah, it was I guess like apparently there are real life vampire people. Like there are people who actually claim that they derive energy from blood. And so who knew this is a real thing. And yeah, I mean, rom-coms are sort of a thing of the past. We don't see much of them anymore. But so that's why I was attracted. I was like, "Oh, yeah, we should do this."
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
That.
fun role. I was kind of like the boss. I
Mm-hmm.
tend to get that a lot. I don't know why. I guess I'm bossy maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still a thing for you. Want to work with Guillermo del Toro too. You want to work with him as
Oh,
playing a creature.
for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely, I mean, I know Doug Jones who played
Okay. Hmm.
Shape of Water. I mean, we're on the same like horror convention circuit, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I could have that career. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I'm not as tall or lanky, but I can do the like short little lady versions, certainly.
You could, yeah. What's especially because you love theater, you love film, you make your own work, your own shows. So what's something that you want to bring your love of the theater to in the film world to cross the two paths?
Hmm. I mean, I think my one woman show probably does
Does
that.
that?
But ever since I saw Weapons and then of course heard that there's to be a prequel, I'm like,
Mm.
oh my God, like I have to have like that Gladys character is my spirit animal. Like that like she was so great and I need to be her sister
Hmm.
or younger self or whatever. Put me in, coach. Like that just feels like such a no-brainer to me.
Hmm. It is. I think that would definitely be a fit.
I mean, we were talking earlier about, when I was first starting out and like kind of like forcing this square peg into a round hole and, trying to get parts when I'm not a wallflower type. And so like I was never gonna get those parts. Like a part like Gladys
Hmm.
is a part I excel at, period.
Mm.
Objectively, we can all agree. mic drop, whereas, I've, I don't want to say wasted, but I've spent a lot of time like auditioning for roles like, I don't know, like, you know, procedural dramas and, New Orleans, SVU or whatever. I don't even know if that's a show, but those kinds of like police sort of investigatory type shows. And I'm
Mhm.
like, is this really like who's seeing me on this? Like, I'm Gladys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Marjorie, I'm Pepper. I'm like, and listen, I'm not trying to limit myself.
No. Mhm.
I'm not just a creature. I'm not just a crazy. But, there are parts for people like Kerry Washington,
Mhm.
and then there are parts for people like Naomi Grossman, and they're not the same parts.
No, no, they're not. You are big into yoga. You also became a Spanish teacher. So is there some aspirations for teaching as well? Because you love acting. So do you want to teach acting at all? Has that been a thought? Or even yoga?
Oh,
Because yoga, you could
interesting.
become a yoga instructor. I know people like to do that.
Well, I'll be honest. After the strikes, and then after the fires, and then this new administration,
Ay, ay.
I started
Yeah.
to really like go, oh, snap. Like, what do I need to do? And listen, I haven't taught Spanish for over 10 years, so I'm not trying, that feels like a real step backward. Like, I'm
Hmm.
not trying to be that. Um, I mean, a, that was actually a great time in my life. I'd struggled so long to working as an actress, and I waited tables, I danced for money at bar mitzvahs, I was the Red Bull girl, you name it, I did it. And so teaching Spanish allowed me to like, oh, wear my own clothes, like not covered in other people's ketchup. And, and I was like the smartest one in the room. I had a, captive crowd. I was respected and valued in a way that I hadn't before. And so, yeah, when I would go to my auditions from there, all of a sudden I felt like important. I felt good about myself. I felt like, in fact, I felt like, you know what? I don't even need this part because I
Hmm.
got a classroom that loves me back at the Beverly Hills Lingual Institute. So in that regard, I think the Spanish teaching was actually a wonderful like stepping stone. That said, I'm not trying to recover that, uncover that rock. Like I've
No.
been there, done that. That said, with this new time we're in,
Hmm.
I did start to kind of think, well, what's my plan B? And I know it's crazy to be like 50 years old thinking, I should get a plan B. But I am going to be going to India actually in January to get certified as a yoga teacher.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Who
Hmm.
knows if I will ever teach yoga? Maybe at like horror conventions, they'll be like, do yoga with Pepper. Maybe. It's like I said, I've never like fancy myself a like I really have so much respect for yoga teachers that I'm reluctant to go there, unless I'm truly called. But I'm definitely called to go to go to India, and I've been practicing for what, like 26 years at this point. So I'm I do have something to teach people. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll see. Who knows? It's a um whole new world out there, right? We'll see
It,
see what happens.
it is. And the conventions is they're definitely their own world. You have a lot of fans, especially crazed ones that get tattoos of Pepper and things like that. They're the horror fans, they're devoted.
Yes, they are. I want to say I have a tattoo or two up on my wall here somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
unbelievable.
It is. It
It
is.
is. Yeah, the Marjories. Those are your Marjories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. True.
It
That's
was. Yeah. What's your favorite scene as Pepper? What was your favorite scene?
um oh, that's so hard. I mean, obviously the name game will always have a dear
Hmm.
place in my heart. That was like that was the time I was able to really like just let my freak flag fly. Like I'll never forget the AD on the microphone, the bullhorn who's like, everyone can go bigger except Pepper. Which is, yeah, like, um, so, I mean, that's obviously like, I love that just on a personal level because for the most part, I'm constantly having to fight that urge to kind of go big. Like I'm having
Hmm.
to always like bring it down for camera, like throw it away, do nothing. So when I can like just let it rip, I'm excited. Um, I think that season 4, episode 10, the whole like origin story of Pepper, where I got to, I was like crying on cue and I was,
Salty. Hmm.
yeah, I mean, that was
That
like a
scene.
really magical time because I'd been preparing for that. I assumed there would be a reason to bring me back, right?
Hmm.
The next season. Like why break the the show had been set up as these like what do you call it?
Like a theme.
Yeah, but I mean the show was not a drama. It was these oh my God, limited series, right?
Hmm.
And so if they were gonna bring Pepper back, what did that mean? Are we no longer a limited series? So if they were willing to go to all that trouble of, if they're willing to put into jeopardy, uh,
Mm.
the their status as a limited series just for this one little pinhead,
Hmm.
then there's got to be a reason for it, right? We're going to do something with her ultimately, and so yeah, I was like, there's no way they brought me all the way here to New Orleans to just like feed the fat lady food. You know what I mean? There's something more to it, and so yeah, I mean, I was thrilled when we actually got some meat. I had real pathos. I had scenes and still no dialogue, but some real like heart-wrenching stuff, and that
Hmm.
that was really exciting because, like I said, not only had I been preparing for it all season, and for that matter, that season prior, but my whole life, when you think about it, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I've been kind of like waiting for a break.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know? Like all of a sudden, all those casting directors that never cast me as that like waitress, fries with that, scalpel doctor, you know what? You're pardoned. Like I got mine. Like you know what I mean? Like it's all good.
No,
It's
it was a rewarding role. And I think what was so, I really have to give a lot of credit to as well with this performance as Pepper is that you didn't have the script in season 2. You got it later on with season 4, is that you had to basically just improv pretty much without knowing what the other characters were doing.
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
tough.
yeah, I mean with season 2 I would get this only my
Only
page.
your part.
Yeah. So I didn't know what was happening with anyone else. And then season 4, I would get the whole scripts.
Hmm.
That was like, oh, I'm at the big kids table. Like I actually know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, even then I remember after I was gone, I would text the freaks like, who's alive? Who's died? Like, what's happening? They're like, oh my God, Dandy's on a rampage. What? Like it was exciting. Like,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Definitely a show that people look back on, and then we're getting the renewal here with 13, so hopefully they bring Pepper back. Would love, I know the
Yeah.
fans would love to see that. And you also have been a judge on a few shows too, Halloween Wars, Painted with Raven. You
Oh
enjoy being a
yeah.
judge?
Yeah. I I really did. I would like Painted with Raven was really fun because it's a
Hmm.
makeup show, and yeah, it's for not knowing doing my own very well. I know quite a lot about makeup, obviously, having sat in it. Um I would love to do RuPaul. I think
Hmm.
they need to call me for that.
They gotta
So,
call you.
yeah, if anyone's listening,
Hmm.
that could
Also,
tell.
Hell's Kitchen. You did Hell's Kitchen too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm an eater.
yeah.
You know it looking at me, but
uh, but Naomi, what do you have on the way? What's next? So, anything else you want to let your fans know that we didn't talk about here tonight?
You know, I think the solo show is probably the
The main thing.
yeah, yeah. If people are in Southern California in the spring, check my Instagram and come support, come see the show, be part of the studio audience.
Check you out, and also to got to get hyped up to House of Pain. I know I'm a big hip hop guy, so I know you love the song House of Pain. That's your big
I
hype song.
do.
Yeah,
I feel like you know things. I don't know
yeah,
how you know things.
yeah,
But yeah, that's the song that would like hype me up before I would do like my solo shows, for example.
yeah. Any other favorite hip hop songs at all, or artists outside of that, or just mainly just House of Pain?
Um, you know what I'm gonna recommend, and then I do have to go, is there's a amazing documentary series, and I want to say it's what's it called? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a
Docu.
it's a
Mm.
docu-series. I think it was on Netflix.
Okay, was it Hip Hop Evolution? That
Yes.
was it. Yeah, I just interviewed the host, Shad, from that. Yeah,
My God, I love that show. I mean, I know you asked me, is there a specific artist? And it
yeah,
literally takes you through like every artist in like the entire history of hip hop.
yeah.
But I found that fascinating and I loved how they broke it down like by region and
Hmm.
yeah, it was a great show. So, um I don't have an answer to that other than
Yeah.
we'll have to do another one of these and we'll pick like the South, the Chicago, New York,
Yeah.
LA, like and yes, and I do have favorites, certainly.
Yeah. So it's probably LA for you, especially being on the West Coast. It's probably, yeah.
I mean, I I those coastal wars are long beyond us.
Yeah, exactly.
We have new wars. We have new problems.
Oh yeah, we do. We definitely do. But Naomi, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I had a great time speaking with you about your work. Thank you for everything that you've done. And like I said, Pepper's in a class of her own. And can't forget about Marjorie and all the other roles that we talked about here tonight. And they can follow you on Instagram too at Naomi W. Grossman. Is that right?
That's it.
There we go. And that on
You know
Twitter
what
as
the
well.
W is for?
What's the W for?
I feel like you know everything
Is it
about
your
me.
middle name? Is that what
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Well, my middle name is Wright, like
Okay.
like a family name.
Okay.
Name.
Like Eric Wright, Easy E.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the Wright brothers, but yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Naomi,
Awesome.
thank you again for coming on the show. Thank you to your publicist too for sending this through. And you're always welcome back on. We'd love to have you back on to talk about your
Yeah, we'll
one
talk hip
woman
hop
show.
next time.
Yeah, and one person show because you're going to be on the tour with that. And
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Indeed.
So when you're ready, Naomi, you're always welcome back on. Thank you so much.
Cool. You got it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Naomi. Take care.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Bye
Bye.
bye.